Let me fix my hair.
Do we
Live? Yay! It is showtime. Welcome. Welcome, guys. Happy Wednesday. The Win Real Talk here on speakupandempower.com. It's a beautiful global community of really heart-centered experts and entrepreneurs coming together with a big vision to do greater things together. And I am so excited for today because, to be very honest with you guys, I'm going to keep it so real today. You know, I always do, but it's going to be real raw, real. None of this is scripted, right? We just came together and we're like, hey, you're coming over at 12. Why don't you just come over at 11?
She texted me and I was like, okay, I guess.
But what's crazy is I've prayed for this woman in my life. I really have. I prayed for her since the beginning of 2020. And then she came to me. She came to me, and this is Christelle Biiga. I always refer to her as my twin because
Patty joining us.
Yay! Hi, Patty. I'm so glad you're here. Good morning to you too, sunshine. So Christelle here is an amazing soul, amazing spirit. I just believe in her so much on a personal level, professional level. She is so intelligent, but she's also just so gifted in what she does and how she's helped heal me as well, which really has trickled into my success in business. And I want to, give her more exposure too, because gosh, if you can heal me, you can heal so many others. And it would be a disservice not to have you on here. So I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me last minute. But
hey, sometimes, right, it works out better that way.
Did I tell you that? Just go with it.
Yes.
Go with the flow. So
she actually taught me that because I go with the flow because you have to. You're a mom. You kind of roll with it. But she's really taught me to just chill out, and it's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out, and it's so true. So Christelle, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so yes, my name is Christelle Biiga. I'm her twin. You don't look like that, but I am. So yeah, I'm originally from Cameroon. That's why you have this beautiful accent. And now I live in Los Angeles. I'm a coach. I am a speaker. I am a podcast host. Let's say I'm a multi-facet entrepreneur, multi-passionate,
I love that.
So yes, what I do with the female entrepreneurs is I just help them reconnect with who they really are at a spiritual level in order for them to show up with more clarity and more confidence in their businesses and get more success. So I'm really happy to be here today, really excited. So thank you for having me.
Of course, beautiful. And it's so true. She's really amazing at all the things that she does. And I want to ask you, so when did your entrepreneurial journey begin?
Oh, girl.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I think I have always been an entrepreneur in my spirit because I am everything but good with rules. So fitting in a system was always challenging for me. I was good at following rules, but it was just, I knew it wasn't for me. When I was in school, I would skip some classes when I was a teenager. Not to go crazy, do crazy things.
Yeah.
But just because I couldn't be there from Monday through Friday, from this time to this time, I was just like suffocating. So I would skip some classes, go hide at home because everybody was at work, of course, so nobody knew I was back home. And then,
really
nobody knew. So I would just go back home because I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm by myself, so I'm cool. So yeah, because I was a good student. So my family never realized that I was doing that. They found out when I started sharing that online, actually.
Oh my God, yeah, be careful what you share online.
They never knew because I had good grades. So I was smart, but I just had a hard time, sitting there every day doing the same thing. But I was judging myself along the way. By, I wasn't really feeling good about that because you know how the whole world makes you feel like this is not okay. There's a way. If you're a student, you have to do this. You have to be in a classroom. That's why you have a schedule, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't right and wrong.
Exactly.
Right?
And I just didn't hate school, but I just couldn't do it that way, like every day from this time to this time. So I would hide. So I was actually hiding who I was or who I wanted to be because it just didn't feel okay to be my way. Even though I had good grades, it still wasn't okay to skip classes, right? Fast forward when I, went into the adulthood life, now I had to be responsible. Now I had to, get it together, get a job, to pay my rent, to pay my bills. So of course you have to follow the rules. You have to be at work at a certain time. You have to, do whatever you're asked to do. You have to all those things. And I try to keep it together because, of course, now you are a bigger, you're not a teenager anymore skipping classes. Now you have a rent to pay. Now you have bills to pay. So, get it together. So again, I try to fit in the box that society has made for. Nothing wrong with having a job, of course. But again, remember, I'm just not the person to sit somewhere every day doing the same exact thing. And I tried to suppress that. I tried to fit. I really tried. But at some point, every job I had from the time I remember, every time I said I'm quitting, it was like, really, I was so good at it. Not bragging, but just being real here. And as every time I would just feel like this is not working. I would feel really like I can't breathe anymore until I would be like, okay, I'm leaving. So even from Cameroon already, I started having, businesses to allow me to pay my rent regardless. I was just getting creative like that. Sometimes I was watching the news. I was sharing with you last time. I was just heard something in the news about, plastic bags not being okay anymore. And then I decided to, reach out to pharmacies and start making paper bags and sell it. So I just was figuring out ways to make money, to live because I needed that, but also my way to wake up when I want to, because I don't want to wake up early. Nothing wrong with waking up early. It's just not for me. So I had a hard time being me, and entrepreneurship was really the only option for me to be me without feeling like I'm a failure, because that's how you make you feel. If you don't follow the rules, you're a failure. How are you gonna pay your rent? So I was just in my head like, let me make sure that I'm done. I don't look like a failure, but I still can find a way to be me, to wake up when I feel like it, to have time to spend with my friends doing the things I love. And then I moved to the US 5 years ago. Again, now it's a new world. Barely speak English. I have, again, no family here. I have to get a job. I have to figure it out. Nobody's here to, help me out if I screw up. If I have no money, I have nowhere to go. So I have a job and I make it. But yet still in my head, I knew it was temporary. I remember when I just moved here, I had a roommate. And every time I'll be on the computer looking for opportunities, looking for trainings to start a business. I didn't know what business I wanted to start because I was new in the US. So I didn't know where to go, where to start. It wasn't like I'm going to watch the news and then just start a business. So I was just, and she would be like, what are you always looking for? I said, I'm on a training. Sometimes it was free training, sometimes paid training, but it was all about starting a business. I knew that, the corporate America wasn't for me because I know myself. I want to do my own thing. I want to do it when I feel like it. And it's not for corporate, right? You have rules there to follow. So I will do all those trainings, try these things, and yet I couldn't figure it out. So I got a job and I was working, passionate again, doing my job greatly to show that I was good at what I was doing. In less than a year, I became a manager in the company I was working for. When I started, I barely spoke English. Just keep that in mind.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I was just so blessed that it was a French airline, so they needed somebody that can speak French with the passengers. So that was my blessing. So even though my English wasn't there, it was okay for the job.
Perfect. Oh my
gosh. Anyway, in less than a year, I became a manager. Great opportunities ahead of me. And then I'm good at what I'm doing. My team loves me. I love my company. It's not my story. It's not, I hate my boss. I hate my company. So I'm leaving. No, that's not my entrepreneurial journey story. It was just me knowing that this is not for me. I'm doing it because I need it, but I don't want to live out of need. I want to live a life that is fulfilling, that feels good to me, that I'm passionate about. I want to wake up in the morning excited. I don't want to wake up and be like, okay, I have to be there. Okay, I have to go there. Okay, I have to do this. I have responsibility. I don't want to live like that. So I will show up at my work full on, like go all in, give it all to the point when my company, was seeing potential in me and, even telling me that in the near future I will go higher. But I knew deep down that it's not happening. And on the side, I was always, again, looking for opportunities. And at the same time, I was going through my own personal development journey. I paid a lot of coaching programs, worked with amazing mentors. And during that process, I was able to connect with on who I really am. Remember that it's okay to be me. to be the way I am. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing broken in me. There's nothing to fix. And I gave myself permission to finally say I'm out, right? It wasn't an easy decision. Remember, I have no family here. Yeah. Zero family, right?
Everything on the line.
Yeah. So it's not like if I quit my job and my business doesn't work out, I can go sleep in my mom's basement. I don't have that option. It's me, myself, and I. So it has to work. Wow. So could I start my business on the side? Maybe. But again, it just wasn't me. Because it's really important for us to remember that some things might work for some people, right, but not for all of us. And we have to be courageous enough. It takes courage, right? To own that my path might not be your path. And it's okay. No. It's perfect. It's fine. There's a reason why your soul is calling you to do something differently or something different. So even if no one else is doing it that way, it's fine. And it wasn't that easy because all the coaching programs I was in, I was hearing the same stories, the same models. Even though I was like, I don't want to be like working this crazy, stressful job because being a manager at the airport is crazy stressful. LAX is crazy. So you don't want to be there. So in coming back and trying to, it was just too much for me. And I just couldn't do it anymore for myself. And the guilt crept in. Okay, I'm going to disappoint my company that trusted me. I'm going to disappoint my team that loves me. What are people going to think about me? What is my family going to think if they realize that I'm creating this great job to start something out of the blue? Like, first of all, in Cameroon, life coaching is not even a thing. So they don't even know if what am I even doing? What am I even talking about? So crazy. So I didn't say anything. My sister in Canada, we speak like every other day on the phone, maybe every day. And she didn't know because she would have been like, listen up. You're not going to do this. She would have called my mom. It would have been a whole intervention, right? Wow. So I didn't say anything. I had to hide to my family. My colleague, my company, when I said, okay, I'm quitting. I first went to my direct manager. He listened to me and he said, you're not leaving, right? I'm like, what do you mean? He said, no, you're not leaving. You're not leaving. There is no way we're going to let you go. So figure it out. You're the manager, work your hours around, make it happen. I don't care. You're not leaving. End of the story. Bye.
Was that your answer?
That's what he told me. I was like, okay, I guess. So I tried to stay.
Okay.
But yeah, the fire in me was just too burning too high. It was like, so now I'm in this crossroad. Maybe some people might, see themselves here. Do I choose me or do I choose other people?
Exactly.
Do I choose what makes me happy or do I choose to do what my company will like, what my team wants? Yeah. Am I being selfish or I'm just loving me? And loving me, does that mean being selfish? Or is only when I love me that I can actually really love other people? Because if I stayed there, I would have resented them at some point. I would have probably become grunchy and, would have been not good for anyone. Even though in my head it could have been a good story of, but everybody likes you, everybody wants you to stay, don't be selfish. So those are the type of conversations that sometimes people go through, and I had that conversation. Yeah. And I remember one day sitting in my living room and crying like a baby.
Did you really?
You? Oh my gosh, yes, me.
Wow, I thought I was the only twin crier. I thought I took it for the whole family.
No, you didn't take all the cries. I still have some. Yes. So
wow,
I was crying like a baby.
Complete crossroads.
Yes, right? Asking to myself, Christelle, what is wrong with you? What do you want? You have this beautiful, career, and you're doing so amazing. At that point, it was like I was like 3 years in the US, right? Wow. So I was like, look at you. So many people are inspired by you right now in the community and everything. They respect you. They feel like, oh my gosh, she's incredible. Yeah. And here you are thinking of leaving all of that for what? Yeah.
In a position where people would kill for.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I was like, what is wrong with you, girl? Why can't you just be satisfied? Right? That's what a lot of people do. Just stay in a position that is satisfying. It's not like they're excited to be there. They love it so much. Just, it's okay.
Yeah, they're good at it. It's comfortable.
Yeah, it's comfortable. So I was, what is wrong with you? Why don't you just sit here and be happy? But at the end, I just wiped my eyes and I said, I can't.
Wow.
I want more.
Wow.
This is not what I want. Yes, it's crazy. Yes, it makes zero sense. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to do it.
That's amazing.
So I made the decision the following day. I went and I told my team, okay, this is it. I can't do this anymore. They said what they could say, but I wrote that difficult email to my HR because I knew if I go again to my manager, it's going to be like,
nope,
I told
see you tomorrow.
So I wrote that difficult email to my HR. Remember, my heart was, like, racing.
Oh, girl.
And then I remember one of the supervisors was standing behind me. She was like, don't send that email. I'm like, I have to.
I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh. Did you see me? I had to bust out my notepad because I was like, she's dropping some serious golden nuggets right now. Oh my gosh. Talk about trusting you.
Yeah.
Trusting yourself. As you're hearing so many people say, don't do that, you're crazy. Stop. All these signs of stopping, right? Don't do it. You're crazy. And look at what you would have been saying no to since.
Yeah. Entrepreneurship is never a safe journey.
It's not.
It's not about safety.
It's not.
It's really about following something bigger than yourself. It's really not, it doesn't feel safe. Just, if you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, let me say this right now. There is nothing safe about entrepreneurship. It doesn't feel safe. Anytime you have to make a decision, you have no clue if it's going to work out. Right. So how does that feel safe? It can't feel safe.
No.
It feels really scary. It's like, oh my gosh. And a lot of people that don't have that entrepreneurship spirit might be like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
And your little voice in your head also will be like,
kind of am.
Are you kidding me? Are you taking us there again? Really? We're gonna jump again without knowing where we're going to land? So that's what it is. And
it's amazing.
It takes courage to be an entrepreneur. So much courage it takes. And what I love to tell my clients sometimes, like, entrepreneurship is a lifetime journey. It's the journey of your life. Because it's not just about creating something or building a business. And then it's really working on yourself, which means, going through your fears, making decisions, sometimes going against all odds. It's your personal journey. That's why I'm so passionate about, the alignment work, because I know, sometimes people go to a life coach because they want to achieve their goals. They need accountability and all of that. They forget that any strategy actually that you use, all the strategies work. Let's put it out there. Any strategy out there works, but not for everybody. Exactly, but not for everybody. But now the question is, why is it going to work for you and not for me?
Right.
Strategy is the same. The only difference is you and me. So now that's why it's so important to be the person you need to be for that strategy to work. Are you, really listening to yourself, trusting yourself, taking courageous action, because it takes courage to decide to quit my job in a country where I have nowhere to, bounce back if everything, goes out of nowhere. I have no safety net. At that point, I'm burning all the bridges.
Wow.
I'm burning all the bridges. But I knew there was something in me that just knew. I had no evidence. Because sometimes we get in our, how are you going to do it? How are you going to make it happen? How are you going to pay your rent next month? How are you going to do this? I had no answer to those questions. And bear in mind, at that point, I had zero client, zero. Right. So I had no evidence that whatever training I was taking, whatever program I was in was working. And I was paying those programs a lot of money. So I still had to pay the program. I still had to pay my rent. I still had to pay my bills. I still had to eat, right?
Yes.
Still had to pay the internet that I needed for my coaching business.
Yeah.
But something in me just knew. And that's why all the work, that's why you were saying earlier that sometimes people don't realize that the healing, personal healing, impact the business. That's why all the work that I had done previously with the coaches, like working on myself, working on my spiritual journey, on my mindset and all of that, was helpful at that moment, because that's what helped me be able to listen to myself, not my fears, not the conversation in my head, not what other people were saying, but really what my soul was telling me. Because I had that relationship with myself to know that even if it doesn't make sense, this is the way. Just go. And when I quit, my HR again tried to keep me. So she offered me a leave of absence of 3 months, which I took. But I knew I didn't want to go back. So I was like, okay, I have to make it happen for during these 3 months to not have to go back. It didn't happen. I had till 0 client. It didn't happen. So at the end of the 3 months, here am I, January 2020.
It was January
2020. Now I have to either go back to work or just tell her I'm not coming back.
Wow.
And I have 0 client, 0 money. I'm sitting right there. And then I say, okay, it's time. I have to say something. Either I'm coming back or I'm not. So I'm writing this email crying. Like I have tears falling off my eyes. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm going to do without that paycheck.
Oh, I got goosebumps.
I have no clue. But I'm trusting myself. I'm trusting this fire within me. I'm trusting this feeling, this knowing that I have, that this is my way. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I sent the email and said, that's it. She said, okay, I respect that. And I was like, okay, now what? Still have 0 money coming in. That same week, just for like the universe or my higher self to prove me that I made the right move, I had landed my first client.
Oh my gosh.
That same week.
Oh my gosh.
I landed my first client. After I really cut all the bridges.
Wow.
There was no safety net. I jumped all in.
Total faith.
And then it happened. So I'm not saying it's not everybody's journey, right?
No, it's just
some people do it, start a side hustle, and then when they're able to replace their paycheck, they do it. That's why it's so important to know what is your path.
Yeah.
You have to be connected with yourself so much that you can decide what is yours. Don't hear mine and be like, oh, let me do the same. And that's what we do a lot. We look around, oh, she's doing this, let me do the same. She's doing that, let me go there. No. You have to always know what is your path and have the courage to follow, because sometimes it's hard when you want to do something that no one else around you is doing. It's crazy, scary.
That's amazing.
So
my mind is blown, and we hang out all the time, and we just blow each other's minds all the time, because we're just like, wow, I didn't know that level. Okay, I did not know that level. I'm so grateful that you shared that with me. Crazy enough, just before we got on here, a picture came up.
Okay.
A little, you know how they send you little
memories.
Memories. There you go. And it was I think it was the first time we met.
Okay.
Or maybe the second time, but it was from January 11th, 2020. And this is from where we met. Oh my goodness. So my prayers were answered the day that you were crying and saying your final goodbye to your boss. Yay, me! So let's talk about that too. So what were some of the things that you were doing more proactively to get yourself out there? How was that for you? Was that scary? Was it something you were excited about?
I was scared, and what I was doing, it was really try to just be around people that were doing what I wanted to do, right? So I was in groups of people doing the same thing. I wasn't in groups of people doing bakery. Nothing wrong with that, but I will not learn anything more than make a cake, which wasn't where I was going.
Right.
So I joined groups of female entrepreneurs to learn what was working for them. And again, I was, paying coaching programs and all of the things to learn skills, to get tools, to make a decision at the end of the day of what tools or what strategy will work for me, because it's really important. Sometimes I have been in coaching programs where I just couldn't. I was in a self-hate conversation over and over again, always asking to myself, what is wrong with you, Christelle? Why can't you just do it this way? They keep telling you this is the way, and why can't you just follow through? And I was beating myself up, and guess what? I wasn't getting anything happening. Nothing happens when you're beating, and so it's so sad, because sometimes We do that. We coach it like, this is what has worked for me. This is what has worked for all my clients. Just do it. It's going to work for you. And if it doesn't work, look in the mirror. It's your fault. I tried again. And I remember I was in a coaching group and we had a pod, like accountability group, you know, and I asked, I wanted to get into speaking. I knew I had something about me that people loved when I speak it up, but I don't know what to do, right? So you were asking people. I had a friend over there that was doing podcasting, and I asked her, say, hey, how can I get, you know, invited to speak in podcasts and all of that? She said, well, because she knew at the stage I was in my business, right? She said, yeah, you know, you can apply to speak on podcasts, but the problem is that you have to have something to offer, to have people in your email list, to start nurturing them and then sell to them. Before you're at that point, there's really no reason why you should. I was like, ugh. But at that point, I was like, no, I'm gonna let anything again stand between what I really want to do and what I should be doing. I'm not gonna sit here and wait until I'm ready and ready to be ready before starting. So I said, no, I'm a speaker. I'm going to speak. I don't care how. I have no clue how to do that. So I started researching on Google how to be a speaker. And they will list things that I didn't have at the time. I needed a website. I didn't have one. And right now mine is even down again. Anyway, I didn't have a website. They said you needed to have a reel, you know, for them to see how you speak. And before you apply, I didn't try to apply. Some they requested. I said, okay, I don't have all of this. But regardless, I am a speaker. And you know, when it became so strong in my mind that I wanted to be a speaker, after the meetup where I had to share my story.
Oh my gosh, that was that was the one.
Yes.
That was the one, the picture.
So when I saw what
January
happened
11th.
in that room that day, how people were like
so
engaged and the energy I felt, how people were kind of blown away when I was talking. They didn't say anything particular. It wasn't even in my intention to be impacting that way. I was just sharing my story, and the power it had made me go back home and be like, if I can impact people this way, I should be doing this more. If I can inspire people this way, I should be doing this more. Should be using this, what I have, this gift to help more people, to serve people more. So let's do it. Let's get on stage, let's speak, whatever it takes, it looks like. And I have no clue. So, but I made that decision that I'm going. I don't know how. I don't have all the answers, because sometimes we have these great ideas, right? I want to do this. Maybe I want to do this for my business, or maybe I want to start a business. And we just get stuck because, but I need this first. I need to start this. I need to learn these new skills first. I need to do this first. Then I learned that you don't need to have all your ducks in a row. You just have to make a decision that is happening. When you make a decision and you stand behind that, it's happening. There is no question like how it's going to happen. Even if I don't have all the answers, it's happening. Your energy even activates something in the universe that shows that this girl means business. Let's make it happen. So a few days later, I stumbled on Facebook again, because I was in those groups asking, when you're asking, growth group with women doing the same things I was looking for. And one shared a training that was happening about being on stage. That was right before the lockdown. So I joined the stage, you know, the program. Barely made even 1 week in the program, didn't even do complete one module yet. I applied to be a speaker on an airport. I got booked to speak. Awesome. So if it wasn't a lockdown, I would be speaking on a stage in Vegas this January. So it happened before I had no clue what even a signature talk was. Wow. So that's how I was, you know, just taking those courageous actions and being around the people, and also the meetups. That's why I came. That's how we met. Right. Because I knew
how we reconnected.
Yes.
We're twins.
Because we are twins.
And then to the story.
I was just born in Cameroon. She was born in the US, but we were twins. So we were connected. Okay, that's beautifully said. So yes.
Yes, so you found the
meetup. So I came at that meetup because I knew it was about business. Got it. So I made the decision to network, to be around people that were business. My friends at the time, I love them, but they're still my friends. But they all had a job. They all had this idea that if you're a foreigner, for us from Africa, we know when you come in the US, you have to be either a nurse or do, home health care. That's where the money is. The medical profession, that's where the money is. So everybody comes here, they already know they're gonna get there. But I wasn't, there.
So that's like everyone's individual default plan.
Yes.
That's their life plan.
Yes, that's how you're gonna make it.
Okay.
That's
Wow.
how you're making it. So
Okay.
no questions asked. That's where the money is.
Mm.
So basically they were not the type of people I needed in my journey. So sometimes your friends are there maybe to have fun and enjoy life together, but when you have a dream, you have to be around the people that can nourish your dream. That can, that's why I was, even on Meetup, I knew, you need to meet people, be around other people. I found that your Meetup because I knew it was about entrepreneurship and, growth. And I said, okay, let's go there. Because I know people will be there that, I will learn from and maybe also share things with. And that's how we met.
There's a magic to that. Huh?
Yes.
Like to being with like-minded people.
Yes.
It's so important. And I love how you mentioned how you were hiding on purpose pretty much.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you do have to incubate yourself around certain people that are going in the same direction or that have the same drive because there's, like you say, it's magical.
Exactly.
It's really, really
magical. I had to hide because sometimes when your dream is still a baby, it's easy for it to die. Mm-hmm. So I was protecting my baby.
That's so cute.
I wasn't hiding
really
it from
Aww.
I wasn't hiding it from my family because I don't like them or because they are not supportive. But they love me so much that they will want to protect me from myself.
Which would mean don't
do it.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's what love is. People love you so much that they're trying to protect you from yourself. And sometimes it's not the right move.
Right.
Your dreams are not meant to kill you. Right?
So true.
They are just scared. And you are not strong enough probably to stand and tell them, I'm safe. Because maybe you don't feel safe at that point either.
So true. So
you need courage. You need encouragement. You need to be with people. It can take what it takes, maybe a coach, maybe just a group of friends or people that are going to tell you, you're going to crush it. This is how, okay, you are stuck here. You can do this to move on. This is an idea. Instead of we told you,
don't do it.
Listen, it's just the beginning. It's going to get worse. So you don't share everything, not because you want to hide or because you are trying to be deceptive, but just because you want to protect your dream. Sometimes people are not ready to hear what you have to share. Sometimes they are just not ready. And you know why? Because it's not their dream. Why do you expect them to understand you? I hear that a lot. Oh, I wish my partner would support me. I wish my family would support me. They don't have to. And I wish they will understand me. They don't have to. It's not their dream. It's okay if they don't understand. It's okay if they think it's crazy. It's perfectly fine. The only thing is that, how do you feel about it? Are you in love with it? Are you passionate about it? Do you believe in it? Do you know that it's going to happen no matter what? Even if you don't see any sign right now that it's happening, you just know something in you just knows that you're on the right path. That's all you need. And you need to be around people that will help you, that will fuel your dream, that will give you any tip, any little motivational speech, any word of encouragement, just to keep it growing. And when it's strong enough, you can share with people, and people always want to celebrate success.
Yes.
Right? So even if people didn't believe at first and they didn't want it at first, once it's working out, guess what? They'll be like, oh my gosh,
I knew you had it in you.
That's how my family feels now.
Yeah.
When finally I was strong enough, I started, doing my live webcast, so with Speak Up and Empower and doing all these things, being on podcast. I remember sharing. Now I was like, okay, let me share with them what I'm doing. I didn't know at that point that I still don't have a job, right?
Wow.
So I shared the first video I shared in our family group we do in WhatsApp, because I have my sister in Canada, my brothers in France, some in Cameroon, so we're all over the place. So we have this WhatsApp group. When I shared the first video there, they were so proud. They're like, oh my gosh, you're so proud. And they shared that with their friends. They shared with me again what their friends said. So it was like almost bragging about me at some point, right? So, and the first time I went live on Facebook, a family friend saw it, she tagged my brothers, and I was freaking out. Oh my gosh. And my brother was so proud. My sister was so proud. I was like, Oh my gosh. So now I could tell that, okay, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, my
And
baby's
now
ready to fly.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, I told them I quit my job a long time ago. It wasn't scary for them anymore. So it was like, okay, yeah. Anyway, you good. Maybe you didn't even need that job. You know what I'm saying? So
Awesome.
that's what sometimes it takes. If people
Wow.
don't understand, if you know that people, don't be mad at them. Just understand that sometimes it's out of love. They just think if you're gonna hurt yourself, you're gonna lose everything. So they want to protect you. But sometimes just give it time and find the people that understand, that have been there,
Yes.
that are on the same journey, so that you can share your moments together, share your wins together, share your cry together when it's needed, you know, figure it out together. Just do it together. It's so powerful when you have this kind of support, you know. And I'm so grateful for people like you in my life, because I know when I want to talk about my business, you understand what I'm talking about.
Yes.
As much as I love my sister, we can't talk about anything else. But when it comes to business, she can't really help me, even if she wants to. So we need people that can understand what we're talking about. And so if your partner or your families don't understand, it's okay. Find people that you can talk with. You know, groups of other people that you can join and share your things, and they'll be like, yes, I have been there, this is what I have done. Oh my gosh, I understand you. Sometimes just somebody telling you I understand you makes such a big difference. Such a big difference.
I love it. It's all you need sometimes, huh? To keep going. Just keep going. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. That was so inspiring. I'm just like, look at all my notes. I have so many good things that I learned, and the self-hate conversations, that is so real. That is so real, and it's so important, you know, to just realign yourself. And like, what do you do to realign yourself when you're going down that path of, you know, self-hate conversations? And it happens to all of us, whether you're in business or not. You know, it happens to all of us. So are there any things that you can share with us that you do to kind of help yourself just realign and, you know, stay with your purpose?
Yes, what I've learned and what I do daily, like, is paying attention to my thoughts. You know, when something is going on, even this morning I had that I was listening to a video and it started triggering something in me. And you know, it sounds crazy like that, but we think sometimes that the thoughts we have are us, but they are not. You are not your thoughts. You can step out of the conversation in your head. Try that. When you start, but this is crazy, this is not going to happen, this always happens to me, why is this happening? Just make that conscious decision, or let me step out and watch the conversation. All the fears that are coming up, just pay attention to the conversation that is happening in your head, because you are not that voice in your head. You are not that voice. So don't feel like whatever that voice says is true. It's not you. You can step out of that conversation and watch with no judgment. Just witness what are your thoughts at that moment. What are your fears? And just always question, where is this coming from? Why am I so scared right now? Or why am I so angry? And you know, I love this one. When and pay attention to your emotions. So important to align, you know, even if it's spiritual or personal, it's really about your emotions. Be real. When you feel triggered by something, and God knows that we have so many reasons to be triggered right now. Just turn on your TV.
Or don't. Just don't do it.
You know, you have so many little nice things happening that brings all those emotions. And it can be even in business. You can, you know, be working with somebody that is just not getting it, or it can be a client that is just annoying you, just complaining about everything. It can be maybe your assistant that doesn't get it. You have all these emotions happening. What I love to tell her sometimes, she looks at me like I'm all crazy. When something is happening in your life or in your business or whatever, in relationship, become the witness of how you feel. We tend to just look at the situation and judge it right there. Oh, this is terrible. This person is crazy. Why is this happening? Just leave that conversation and come back inside of you and ask yourself, how do I feel right now? I'm so mad. I'm so triggered. This is insane. I'm so enraged. Witness that and ask yourself, why am I so angry about this? Yes, your brain will tell you, but look at that. Who does that? How can they even think about doing these kind of things? Ask to yourself, why is it so terrible? When you go back having that conversation with yourself, looking at you in the mirror, not at the person, not at the situation, on your emotions, because nobody's making you feel anything. Nobody's making you be mad or be angry or feel angry. There is a beautiful image that people sometimes use. You see this cup of tea?
Yeah.
I'm holding this beautiful cup of tea, right? If you make, a wrong move now, and then my tea, let's say I was wearing something white. Yeah. It will stain, and I'll be like, oh, she did this, and then my shirt is all messed up. But if it was water in this cup, guess what? It would just be water. I would not be upset. I would just, okay, we'll get dry. But if it's like coffee, I would be mad and saying, now my shirt is messed up. She did it. But what is the truth here? The truth is that if there was no coffee in the cup, my shirt will be fine. If it was just water, my shirt will just need to get dry. So it's not her messing up my shirt. It's what is in my cup. And who is putting what is in your cup? You. You are the one with all your emotions. So if you are mad, ask yourself, why am I mad? No, why is she doing this that is making me mad? Is whatever you put inside. What is inside that comes out when they shake your cup. That's what comes out. So when that situation happens and shakes your cup, what comes out? That's what was inside. If anger comes out, anger was already there. If frustration comes out, frustration was already there. So it's not about the cup being shaken. That means the cup needed to be shaken for that to come out. Yes. So be grateful for those people, be grateful for those situations, and come back and ask yourself, what brought that anger inside? What brought that frustration? And how can I release it? So that's what I do. I really pay attention. I always own everything. I take extreme ownership. Really and does. You know that. Every really time, does. If something is triggering, I go look into the mirror. If something is annoying, I always go look in the mirror and ask the real question to myself. And once you do that work, you clean up what is inside your cup. The same person, the same situation will shake that cup again. Nothing will come out. You will not be triggered again. Because there is nothing, there is no rage inside, there is no anger inside, there is no frustration inside. So nothing's going to come out. And you'll be able to look at the same situation, the same person, and smile.
And I have like the perfect exhibit number 1 for that. That is moi. So it just, I love everything you said, not to take away from what she said. It was so powerful, so beautiful. Look at all these comments. Look at all the love and light that we're getting. You know, this is amazing. But it's so true because every time she tells me that, I'm like, so true. You just gotta look at yourself, look in the mirror, see why it triggers you, really get with it, heal from it, because it won't trigger you as much next time, right? But I was one of the culprits of one of the triggers before, wasn't I?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You want to tell us, or I'm going to tell us?
I didn't know this was how she was feeling until just about a couple months ago. I was like, you never told me this. Please share.
Okay. So when I meet this girl, she's all over me, and I can't stand it. She wants to hug me. She says, I love you. She says, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you. She's just all over me, pouring all this love that is just like,
not just you, everybody.
Just like, what is wrong with this person? Why? So I was triggered, and I was looking at her like, she must be fake. There is no way she's this nice. That is, she's hiding something. She's up to something. She's trying to get something out of me. You know, I was there smiling, but inside all that conversation was going on like, I know people like you, always trying to act all nice, big smile and all of that to get something. I know you're kind. Okay? So I was there like, okay, bye. And one day, I was like, Christelle, you know what is happening here, right? Wow. You know that girl didn't do anything. You know you have something going on inside. What it is? So I drank my own medicine, right? So I started a conversation with myself. What is really happening here? And I realized that, so let me just be open here. I have a technique that I use to go through my emotions. The tapping. not the EFT traditional one, really going like, she pisses me off. Why is she always smiling like that? Why is she always acting all nice? And when you release all that anger, that frustration, you go to the bottom of it. I
Got
know,
it.
funny,
Okay.
right? Yeah. So you go to the bottom of it, and I realized that I had a story in my subconscious mind about people being fake. And where did that story come from? I used to be really religious and all of that. And in church, I realized that the people that were claiming knowing God, citing the Bible every second, always turned out to be fake. Always, we end up doing something creepy that is not at all reflective or being a Christian or using the Bible.
Wow.
So I had that story in my head already, like, okay, so it became a program. Every time in church I would see somebody always like screaming, always calling Jesus every second. I'll be like, I know your race, I know your kind. You're not gonna
You are guilty.
I'm expecting you to mess up at any moment. And guess what? They will. And I'll be like, I knew it. I knew it. So my story was
That
there.
means I passed.
My story was there, and I had evidence. My brain had evidence that I was right. All the people that were extra nice, extra, all of the things were hiding something, with fake people trying to just deceive us with their niceness and smiling and all of that. So I had that story. Even though I left church years ago, the story was still there. The programming was there. My subconscious mind had kept it and was using it to protect me, because that's the role of our brain, keep us safe. Wow. So every time we have already those stories in our subconscious mind, we have the red flags ready. So every time we see it, our brain will remind us, remember, these people, they you remember last time that happened? This is what, remember, to keep us safe, to not be disappointed, to not be hurt, to not be wounded again. So when I went back there, I was like, oh, I see now what is really happening here. So I did the healing work to release that, to first heal the wound, because it was hurtful to see those people that maybe you would trust and just go and think it's all love and light, and it wasn't. So when I healed from that story, I did the work to heal the wound, change the story. I released that story. I knew it wasn't the truth. It was a story that I created after I was wounded. It wasn't the truth. I went back to the truth. Wow. All of a sudden, everything shifted. Wow. When you do that, you look at the situation again. So when I do those energy walks, I always think about the situation again and see how I feel. So I still feel a little trigger. I keep going. I know it's not done yet. I know I'm not completely healed yet. Wow. So when I reach the point where I look at your beautiful face in my head, your smile, your hugging and everything, and I don't feel anything, I'm like, okay, now we're good. Only now, I can look at you with no judgment, with no expectation that you're going to disappoint me, with no expectation that you're going to hurt me just to prove myself right. Now, I could hug you back with smile and be like, this is actually good, right? This is actually good to not have in mind that people are going to hurt you, that people are going to disappoint you, that you cannot trust anybody. This is freeing. This is so good. So yeah, that's why for me, so big, I always tell her, remember how I am? I always look in the mirror. So if this is getting you mad, go look in your mirror. And I'll have the right conversation. It's not about them. It's always about us. It's always about me. So I own it, I take responsibility, and I deal with it without making it about the other person. Sometimes you need to step out of some situations, relationships, but you have to make sure you are not living wounded and resentful and all of that. Make sure your energy is clean and you just make a decision out of love that this is not working, so I'm out. But not out of anger and resentment. And be sure that when you think about it and we talk about it, you're like, oh, don't even remind me of that. That means the wound is there. And that wound might affect your next relationship, might affect your next, anything else. Because you will carry that story along the way, and guess what? It will keep repeating just because your brain will want to make sure that the story is true. The story is true. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy, but it's so good and it's so true. And just imagine, when you do that, how many doors are you closing? Right? When you do that and you're continuing to maintain the same story, right? And that's a trigger and you haven't healed, how many doors are you shutting, right? How many And just imagine, because I know, like, just from meeting one person, I've been able to connect with so many other amazing people, right? And it just opens up so many doors, so many doors. So I just love that that happened, and you were in a time of your life to, like, look at yourself, because we would have missed out on so many things from each other. You know what I mean?
And imagine how many times it happens even in the entrepreneurship world.
That's what I mean.
Because maybe you invested before and it didn't work out. Now you have a great opportunity in front of you. You come with that wound from the past. Oh, your brain set the alarm, red flag. Remember last time you invested, it didn't really work out. You didn't get your money worth. You wasted it, and all of the stories, and you will miss out in an incredible opportunity because of a wound of the past, where you missed the opportunity to realize that you didn't lose your money, you didn't waste your time, you were not, disappointed and all of that. You learned something.
Exactly.
So because you are wounded from that past story, or an opportunity that didn't work out, an investment that didn't work out, now you have a great opportunity in front of you to invest. The story is holding you back. The story is not allowing you to make the move that will probably blow your business, blow your life, anything, like take it to the next level. Now that wound is keeping you where you are. Because no, don't go there again. Last time you invested, what happened? Last time they lied to you, they promised and they didn't deliver. You miss out.
That's why it's so important to trust yourself, right? Heal. Also, do your research or whatever, and don't just take one person's opinion on things. I think that can kill it too, right? Not everyone is created equally, and not everyone is the same. We're all so different, right? So it would suck to lose, like, maybe the love of your life because you've been burned one time, or right? But that was the love of your life, you know? And so I love all that you said, and how to, like, really fall in love with your business and the journey, and how to heal along the way, to be truly in alignment with yourself, your business, your purpose, your soul. And you're doing amazing things. How can people like be connected with you?
The easiest and fastest way to be connected is simply through Facebook. Message me, DM me. My name is Christelle Biiga. Yeah, Christelle Biiga. Simple, easy, everywhere.
Christelle
Biiga. Yes. My twin just typed it in the chat. So so that's the easiest and fastest way. Just DM me and let's chat. And then other than that, I have my podcast, Absolute Alignment with Christelle, When Success Feels Easy. Absolute Alignment with Christelle, When Success Feels Easy. So that one is every first and third Friday of the month. Actually, it's on Friday that the next episode is going to air live.
Okay, perfect.
And guess what? We are going to have a live studio audience in the studio with us.
Woo-hoo!
So after we record, it's a really cool thing. It's
super
new.
exciting.
I know if you are a podcast listener, it has never happened before, where you are actually in the studio with the host and the guest when they are recording it. And after that, the coolest part is that after we record the podcast, we go in the breakout rooms with all the live studio audience members, and they can ask questions to myself, to the guests, and get live coaching right there. I think it's powerful. So
this is when? Friday at what time?
1:30 p.m. 1:30 p.m. So, but if you're interested in being in the live studio audience to experience it, to get to ask your questions during a podcast, who does that, right? So come be. And maybe having your resume. I was one of the first people to be in the live studio audience of a podcast. So maybe it might become a big thing in the future, but we are getting started with it. So, okay, I would love to have you. So if you're interested to be in the live studio audience, DM me. I will give you the link, the Zoom link, to join us live in the studio while we are recording it. And you'll be able to get live coaching after the session with me, with my guests. The topic is powerful. So I would love to see you there. So that's another way to stay connected with me. You can listen to this podcast in any platform where you listen to your podcast, maybe Spotify, whatever you listen to your favorite podcast. Check out Absolute Alignment with Christelle, When Success Feels Easy. And hey, send me some love over there.
Yeah! I'm so excited! Go show her some love. You're going to get so much value too. It's going to be a win-win. And if you want to learn more about what we do too, winningforgood.com, you can also connect with her too there. If needed, just type her name in notes, and then I'll get you connected, okay? But we are so happy that you guys joined us today. If you need support during and throughout your life journey and entrepreneurship, or if you're thinking about it, we're here for you. I do host and lead that meetup group for entrepreneurs. It's Win-Win Growth Meetup, and it's an amazing support system. I've made some of my most deepest, best, awesomest friends from there, including Christelle, my twin that I've reconnected with. So you never know, you could find your twin too, because you definitely need one. Okay, love you guys.
Who doesn't need a twin?
Right? Who doesn't need a twin? Okay, love you guys.
Love
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
Bye. See you soon.
Uh-huh.